You're listening to the LouddMouth Radio Network.
This weekend has been a mixture of exhilaration, pressure, release, all in one combustion of a weekend. I just wrapped my Friday night comedy show for the month, my LouddMouth comedy show, and it was a phenomenal show. And I think that naturally there's this time period of moving to the next thing, right? So I think the biggest part as a producer or promoter or however you want to gauge it, you have this expectation or this desire, right, to have the outcome that you wish for, right? You have a vision of what you want to see. You have an idea of what you want to see happen. And you craft the whole element that of that experience around the vision of what you desire, right? So I think a big part of, I'm speaking from my perspective right now, but I think a big part of people's walk in doing things is the requirement of committing to what your desire is. You have to commit in order to see what it is that you really ultimately hope for to happen. But you have to really commit to it, right? You really have to step all the way in, not halfway, not partial way. Let me see how it turns out. That's never going to give you the recipe of what you desire in the end result. So for me, I always know that I'm committing to what I'm doing when I've made the decision to do some things of this magnitude. But that does not mean that things don't overshadow or disrupt or may even feel like a distraction. Or just sometimes you just got a lot going on. And when that does happen, it can challenge what you feel your output is or what you're really putting in the work to do. But I feel like if you are committed and you're really committing to your desires, that even in the midst of all of those things, all the possibilities of things that are going on, you still would get to the end result of what you're hoping for. And I think that this weekend was a prime example for me, just seeing how committing to your desires can allow things to unfold, because I feel like there's this intersection of energies that are always going to be working and happening. So you want to have those energies working for you, not against you, right? Y'all know what time it is. It's Monday, and it's time for Sonny's Monday Motivation.
Let's go.
Welcome to LouddMouth Radio Network. My name is Sonny. As a former professional athlete turned entrepreneur realtor and the producer of LouddMouth Radio Network, I look forward to bringing content to you that empowers, inspires, and entertains you. Tune in each week as we have unscripted and unfiltered talks from entrepreneurship, real estate, politics, entertainment, comedy, LGBTQ topics, day-to-day life, and everything in between. All shows available on demand 24/7 on your favorite podcast platforms.
The Breeze Effect is your premier destination for professional in-home wine tastings and mobile wine bar services. Our customized mobile trailer is designed to bring a touch of elegance and sophistication to any event. At Breeze Effect, we believe that every celebration deserves an intimate and unique experience that you and your guests will remember for a lifetime.
Portals Entertainment Center is a new 13,000 square foot entertainment experience now open in Temecula. Portals creates a space where your imagination can be set free. Step into an immersive entertainment center that will take visitors into one of our many attractions, which include 2 9-hole indoor mini golf courses, an immersive laser tag arena, a designated arcade space, a food service component, party and event spaces, and a hidden 21 and over lounge. Portals aims to give each visitor a unique experience, taking them to unknown worlds and experiencing an entertainment center like no other. Open 7 days a week, located at 26469 Inez Road in Temecula, California, in between At Home and Temecula Theaters. Come check us out and step into adventure.
I was so grateful to have people that I know when they say that they're doing something that they're going to do it. That's just such a gratifying thing, man. I can't tell you how important that is. A lot of people may say, oh yeah, no, it's really important. This day and age is extremely important. And I don't take it lightly. My gratitude in regards to people showing up and doing as they say is powerful, man. It just holds such a weight I can't even begin to explain to you. Because when you're doing things, you're always hoping that what you're doing is not going to be in vain. You hope that the things that you're working towards, if it involves other people, that it's going to come across as you initially hoped it to be or hoped for it to become. And so I think that, when you're doing things that require other people's participation, it layers it even heavier because it makes the outcome even more prevalent based upon the whole. So because it's not just you in the picture of things, it's not just you that's controlling the outcome. There's a plethora of things that have to all work together, and I think that that's amazing. Like I get to see that play out each and every time of the night of my comedy shows. I start out with the idea of the element of what I want that time period to look or feel like. And so I take these approaches with the hopes of creating the things that I envision. And I think for most of us, when we're doing certain jobs or we're working in conjunction with other people, ultimately there's somebody who is given a depiction of what the outcome or what the goal is. And so everybody has to buy into it, right? And in that buying into it, it means that one, it has to be strong enough for people to be able to see it. It has to have enough energy within it to bring it forth for it to be something, right? Whether it's virtual or in person or, something of service or a product, it still has to have enough energy, consumed within it in order to form and become something. Isn't that amazing? It's like this compound effect, right? So when you're working towards things, there's this element of impartial parts, right? You have your beginning, your middle, and your end of it, right? In the flow of things, and how that looks really is determined on how you're interacting with it or what's going on within it. But ultimately, it's something that you start out with, right? And you get it going. You announce it or you put forth the work in it, you make a decision on it, right? A lot of times it starts with the decision. And once you kind of really start working at it, it starts building this momentum. And so it may be some requirements for an exchange of things. It can be a person, a place. It could be something that maybe is needed in order for it to continue to keep growing, whether it's a sales cycle, right? Or maybe there's, even if you're having a family gathering, you have to have an idea of what you want to do to host your group. And so you start out maybe theming it, or you have an idea like, I want to cook out, do a barbecue, or maybe I want to do a seafood crab boil or something of that sort. For one, if you're thinking about that type of aspect, then most likely you're also thinking or already have a consideration of who you want to invite, right? So there's this element of planning that's happening, and then you're also forecasting what you feel like you want to have elemented during the time period of the host of the event. And then there's the requirement of reaching out to people and getting them to either agree to come or not, right? And so there's like this, all of these developmental things that are happening. So I'm giving you guys just an idea schematically of how something just simple as we do on a day-to-day basis still requires us to commit. And it it's amazing that if we really look at the unfoldment of our lives, that action in itself is something that has precedence in almost everything that we do. It's not necessarily just a thing or an event. It also could be a person, for people who are invested in children, who are invested in other people. You're committed, or your decision to support them or to provision for them or to guide them, to parent them, all of these elements of commitments, right? You're ultimately committing to something that you equally feel has an outcome that you desire to see. And so in doing that, it's a lot of time. Mostly we should also be stepping into it with some form of love in our spirit, right? Nothing worse than somebody being resentful and them saying that they're doing something for you. You ever had that happen where you had somebody that you were involved with or had some type of connection to, and they're working resentfully in regards to whatever it is, to the point you just like, you know what, never mind, or just go away, don't be bothered, or we no longer need your energy or your or your interaction in this process. We got it. It's amazing that that energy in itself like that can give a person a certain type of resolve. So it's amazing that when you do make the commitment to your desires, the energy in itself starts to give this positive light and some upliftment towards, or this gravitation towards that thing. And what's cool is sometimes you find that you pull people along the way. So sometimes you have people that are bear witnessing to what you're doing, right? And they're like, I'm gonna check that out. Oh, I think I'm gonna come through. Oh, they gave me an invite, I might show up. And y'all ever had that happen where you had an invite and maybe you're going to somebody who you may have known cordially in the outside environment, but then they invite you to their personal space, like their home or something like that, or maybe they tell you to come out and hang out somewhere. So you really don't know necessarily how they may be in that element. So you don't know necessarily. You're hoping for the best, that the vibe is going to be solid, right? But you don't know. You just don't know. You don't know if they're a clean person. Beyond, because I've seen people who have like head to toe, stellar clean, just dressed out wonderfully, and then you go into like their car or some other space and it's crazy, right? So you just don't know until you indulge. So, but even for you as the participant, you had to commit to what somebody else's desire was, that then now became a desire for you. Because they may have made mention of doing this thing and they invite you to it. So you then also have to commit to coming by saying, okay, I'll RSVP, or I'll send you a text, or you'll verbally agree to coming through. Right? So when I say commitment to your desires and committing to your desires, I think that it can hold so many elements of weight across so many aspects of our lives. And I just think that overall, at the basis and the bearing of it, it consistently gives essence to the idea of stepping into it and really planting your feet and being involved. And in that involvement, it will allow for a development of something that purely is based upon somebody's vision or somebody's idea of what they felt like this thing could be. And so I impart to you that many times when we're doing these things and it requires other people's participation, other people's agreement. And I know that these are things that happen all the time, but as a person that provides spaces of entertainment, or I'm trying to host people in a gathered space, it is never a moment that host does not feel like, I hope people come. I hope that the turnout is this. I hope that people enjoy themselves. I hope that they come and go safely, right? And I think at the end of the day, there also becomes this part of it where you also have to trust that your commitment is enough. And I think that even pertains with children. It can pertain in relationships of friendships, and whether it's platonic or intimate or romantic, right? and you're putting in this time, you're producing some value of love towards the person, you're investing into the curriculum of what you guys are doing, you're involved in the day-to-day or whatever time periods that you guys have between each other. And so it's ultimately a thing where people are making decisions to do so. So if a person is required to commit to whatever you're doing, you also have a level of commitment to your own desires. So you just cannot allow it to be hinged upon what everybody else is going to get from it. But it does start from you. It starts from you, and the commitment starts with you. And what I mean by, you can easily say, hey, I want to do this and do that, but fully doing it and fully committing to it just looks a certain kind of way. It elements a certain kind of way, and it comes off a certain kind of way. And I think that it gives us an opportunity of success to be able to show the ability to perform exactly what you intended on giving to those who you wanted to expose it to. But I think most importantly, it also gives a value to yourself that gives you such a mark of achievement and trusting yourself and trusting that what you're doing is worth it. And I think that that's one of those things that is never acknowledged enough. I think that we've become so accustomed to doing certain things like parenting or being a spouse or being a coworker or being a boss. And we be in these roles. And sometimes we don't have to think about the roles. We can just be in the roles. But you do have to be present in the roles, right? You do need to be aware in the roles. And that consciousness is also just as important as the ability to see what your own commitment level is in regards to it. And I think that the better you're committed to your own walk, that's when you start attracting people who are going to embrace what you're doing, even when you don't think people are paying attention. Even when you don't necessarily believe that others will step in and say, hey, could you use a hand? Or I want to help, or I want to do something. I do this. Can I help with that? Or maybe you show me how to do this, and I can present. I can present myself forward and try to fulfill that. And you'll be surprised how many times people may be watching how you're performing within your own element. And the more you show up for yourself in that way, the more you commit to your desires and really fully engage them all the way through, it just gives another level of bearing within that. Because we're busy doing what we're doing, sometimes we don't even see the magnificence in the process of our own walk. And I think that it's important to, as they say, smell your own flowers, toot your own horn in that way. Not that you have to make it a public display of something crazy, but I do feel like you need to acknowledge it for yourself. And unless you have a measuring stick of how your capabilities are growing, and maybe that, you can see something that can be a draw from when things may get challenging and you may not feel like you're showing up enough, or you may feel some levels of discouragement, or you may feel, exhaustion, all these different things that plague us as humans. But I do believe that we have the ability to recharge ourselves and give our own selves a standing ovation as it pertains to our own walk and doing things in life. Because we do a lot. We make a lot of decisions on a day-to-day basis. We do a lot of things that, because we're accustomed to getting up and doing certain things, we may not recognize how for some other people, they may not ever be able to achieve that because maybe they're not physically able, they're not mentally able, they're not intellectually able. But you're doing it. And I just wanted to bring highlight to that and give an essence of reminder of how important it is to make sure that the things that we're doing and asking maybe of other people, that we're first doing it for ourselves. That's it. That's the message. All right. I think y'all got it. I'm going to make this short and sweet. Enjoy your Monday and make the week important. Peace. Performing comedy is like creating magic. To hear the room explode with laughter is priceless. And to produce comedy is like having a glass of Stella Rosa, the ability to have others wind down with laughter. With LouddMouth Comedy, it isn't just about me, Sonny. It's also the many hardworking comedians that are dedicated to writing and performing night after night, stage after stage, displaying their talents to the world, and we all do it for the love of comedy. Sometimes you have to remember to relax and savor the moment one sip at a time. Cheers. Here's to 13 years of LouddMouth Comedy.
Here at Wonderland Learning Center, we're located at 288 East Main Street in San Jacinto. We provide a safe and secure learning environment. We are now enrolling 2 to 5-year-olds with our preschool curriculum. We offer before and after school care. Breakfast, lunch, and snacks are provided. We accept all programs. We are open Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Our website is wonderlandlearningcenter.com.
Save the date, April 1st through the 6th, 2025. Save the date, April 1st through the 6th, 2025. Sonny's LouddMouth Comedy presents For the Love of Comedy Spring Comedy Festival is happening right in the Temecula Valley area. We're talking about 6 days, over 10 plus shows, over 30 plus comedians. Woo, I need you to be prepared and be ready. So guess what? I need you to bookmark this website, LouddMouthComedyFestival.com. This is with a comedy lineup, all the announcements, schedule, all the great things that's going on from networking events, cocktail kickoff, multiple comedy shows. Even we'll have something for the family. I cannot wait for you guys to participate. So I need you to make sure you mark the dates, April 1st through the 6th. Hold the website, LouddMouthComedyFestival.com, and be prepared. More announcements coming soon. All right, y'all. Ciao.
Hello, my name is Takasha Smith. I'm the owner of Takasha's Kitchen, based out of Menifee in the Southern California area. As a chef and caterer, I provide private cooking classes, couples dinners, and private parties. As a female pitmaster, I am able to create a personalized experience for your family reunion gatherings. I create menus based on my clients' needs to have a more personal vibe. You can find Takasha's Kitchen on all social media networks such as Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and my YouTube channel at Takasha's Kitchen. And that's spelled TACASHAS Kitchen, KITCHEN.
You're listening to the LouddMouth Radio Network. You're listening to the LouddMouth Radio Network.